Okay, so I think this video is going to have a fairly limited audience, but I'm going to show you how to clean this Tuttnauer 2540 EA Autoclave. I would say it's probably about 12 years old. The first thing you have to do is make sure you take out all the trays. The second thing you have to do is take this out. I have to make sure the autoclave is cold also. So the way to get this out is you have to pull it together and slide it out. So it's not that easy because it's tightly in there. It goes something like this. I usually cross my hands. Pull it together and pull it out. All right. Turn it on. So what you use to clean it is something called Chamber Bright, made by Tuttnauer. Comes in little packets. They try to do this every couple of weeks. So if you look in there, it's kind of a little dirty over here. It's not filthy, but it's a little on the dirty side. So what you do is you open this up and you sprinkle a line of it down the middle of the autoclave. So let's see if I can balance this with one hand and do it at the same time. Something like this. Not an exact science, by the way. Okay. Then close it up and you run it on a cycle with no drying. So again, this has to be cold. So I'm going to set it for a 5 minutes, no drying, 273 degrees. Again, that doesn't matter. I'll make sure there's enough water in here. It doesn't have to be full, but it has to be full enough, so because water gets sucked back and forth, in and out. So let me grab another. You only use distilled water in any of these autoclaves. Never, ever, ever, ever tap water. Okay, and this is, you waste about a gallon or so. Let it run. All right, now since this unit is ice cold and we're starting at 66 degrees Fahrenheit, this is going to take a little while. All right, so I'll be back after the cycle is over. I'll show you what you do. Okay, so the cycle just finished. That's a lot of steam. That's because there was no drying cycle. So what you do next is you drain the water out of here. The way I do it is, I don't know the exact dimensions of this, but I got a tube that fits over it. And I just have an old bottle. Like that. Put this in here and you just loosen this. You could do it by hand. So we get a little weight in this. Like I said, you do use up a bunch of water doing this. Come on. Take off the top so air can flow in there. And we're going to let this drain completely now. I think we're empty. Yep. All right, so I'm going to close this up. Nice and soft now. Dump this out. You do not want to save that or reuse it. If you don't want to waste a ton of water, you don't have to fill this completely up because we're going to drain this water out. This water also gets drained out. So now we're going to fill this up. And ideally, you're supposed to fill it up to just under that pressure relief valve. But let's estimate here. Let's see how much we're going to put in. I usually put in just enough. Just enough so we don't get a low water. Let's call it 2/3. Let's call it 2/3 of a gallon. All right, we're going to run it the same way again. Tighten that up. So now that the machine is hot, it'll go much faster. Same thing, 5-minute sterilization, no drying time. And I usually stay here just to make sure we don't get add water. If we get an add water, I put some water in it. Because like I said, don't forget, the water goes into the chamber, and I believe some of it gets sucked back in and out. So let's see. Okay, it's heating. So again, we'll let this run. This will probably take about 10 minutes this time. All right, so after it's done, we drain the water again. So I'll be right back. Okay, so now, theoretically, I could turn it off. Not going to though. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drain the water. Same way as I did last time. Make sure it's completely opened. Okay, now a couple of things that are very important. You have to make sure, first of all, it's boiling hot in there. But there's a little sensor on the bottom right-hand side. You have to make sure you wipe that off very well and clean that. I think that's the water sensor. Let's see if I get a little flashlight and you can see. I don't know if you can see, but it's right there. I'm touching it. So typically what I do, I'm just going to let the water drain out first. I have a heat-proof set of gloves. I'm just going to take some paper. I hate to call it paper towel because it's not. I think we're done with this. Yeah, I think that's okay. So that's done. Let's close that back up. We'll discard this water. And again, here's how much we had left. this out of here. So what I like to do, I'm going to put the glove on. So usually without the glove, I risk it. Because one of the more important things is that sensor in the back there. So I'm going to try to twist around there. See, it's dirty. Dirt came off. I'm doing the top and the sides. Not too bad. One more time. Okay. Now I'm going to put the, I just had a flashlight in my mouth. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the glove, and you could just really leave it like this. But I'm just going to take the glove and I'm just going to clean it. Okay, I'm just going to refill it with water. All right. Right about there is good. So I have to be careful sticking my arms in there. But I'm just going to push it together. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to pull two arms backwards, pull it together. Make sure it's seated up against the back wall. Make sure it's level in there, like that. And that's it.